Hey guys, it's Grayson. Doing my book. I'm doing my book talk on "There's an Owl in the Shower" by Jean Craighead George, and illustrated by Christine Herman Merrill. It was published in 1995, and as far as I can tell, it didn't win any awards, which I'm pretty surprised about. It's a pretty good book, and I read it when I was in elementary school. Um, so I am surprised that it didn't win anything that I could find, at least. So a summary of the book is when Borden's father finds out that there's an owl in his house, he's pretty angry. Mr. Watson is a logger, and spotted owls spell big trouble for the logging industry. Then the little owl imprints on the gruff Mr. Watson, and the lives and views of one logging family are changed forever. So when Borden finds this little owl, he brings him home, and the owl instantly imprints on Leon, like the back of the book said, and Barty, which is what they name the owl, begins to change the whole family's lives and the viewpoints on the environment. So the major conflict in this book is just that Leon, which is Borden's dad, and the rest of the family don't really like owls because they're the reason that Leon lost his job. So they're struggling to feed their family because of the owls. So the characters in the book are Borden, Leon, which is Borden's father, Cindy, Borden's mother, Sally, Borden's sister, Barty, the spotted owl, and Enrique, who is Barty's father. We also have Paul James, who is a science teacher slash environmentalist that I guess you would say is the antagonist, and who is always, has a few confrontations with Leon. The book is set in Northern California. The point of view is third person. Throughout the book, we get to see into the thoughts of all the characters, well, maybe not Cindy, but almost all the characters. We even get to see the point of view of Enrique, Barty's owl father. One theme that I thought was pretty important in this book is that every action has a consequence. So because the loggers were clear cutting the whole forest, the owls began to lose their habitats and die off because they couldn't find enough food, they couldn't support their young, and so they became endangered. Because of the endangered owls, the loggers who had cut down the trees in the first place lost their jobs and could no longer feed their families. So as mad as the loggers were that they can't feed their families, it's pretty much their fault in the first place. So it's kind of shows how everything you do, if you don't do it in moderation, can affect everything else, especially when it comes to the environment. There's a lot of dialogue in the book. Obviously, the characters are talking to each other throughout the whole book. Imagery. This George, or Craighead George, however you would say it, uses imagery throughout the entire book. She's very good at making the reader really see and feel what's going on, especially when she's writing from Enrique's point of view. He talks about, or he thinks slash feels all of the things that are going on in the forest and the things he hears and smells, and so it's just really interesting to see the book from the owl's point of view. So at the beginning of the book, the tone is pretty angry and resentful. Everybody in the town, well, many people in the town had lost their jobs. And so Borden's family especially was very resentful of that. And by the end of the book, it became a lot more understanding. We learned that Leon knows a lot about the forest and cares a lot about the forest by the end of the book, and despite the fact that he's a logger, he's upset about the clear cutting, and he's upset that the forest is so destroyed at this point. So yeah, it's a really great book. It shows a really good moral for kids, and I really enjoyed it when I was a kid, and it seems like my guided reading group is really enjoying it as well. So I would recommend it. Thank you guys.